Pascal Siakam is going to be a Toronto Raptor for the rest of his career. Yo guys, what's going on? Today I want to talk about why I think Pascal Siakam is not going to get traded and he's going to remain a Toronto Raptor for the foreseeable future. Look, it's no surprise that Pascal Siakam has been involved in so many trade rumors. Let's be honest, he is a versatile player who's great on both the offensive and the defensive end, and he's already proven that he can be a big part of a championship run. Not only that, but the Raptors are now coming off a year in which they did not make the playoffs. They weren't even close. They just lost one of their franchise type players in Kyle Lowry, and it seems like there's this massive youth movement going around in Toronto. And you add all of that together with the NBA offseason, and then you get all these trade rumors happening. Trade to this team, that team, articles left, right, and center. And don't get me wrong, I understand Raptors fans. It's frustrating. It really is, because you know that player's not going anywhere, so why do they keep talking about it? The only way I see Pascal Siakam actually leaving the Toronto Raptors is if he himself requests that I want to leave the Raptors, I want to go to a different team. But I just don't see that happening because Siakam loves Toronto. He loves the city, he loves the team, and he loves the environment. So why would he leave? I mean, you can just see it here. Even his agent told the media Siakam wants to stay in Toronto. He has no intention of leaving and no intention of requesting a trade. The other reason is if Masai Ujiri gets a trade offer he just can't refuse. Like, I'm talking the full package. I know Siakam's been linked to the Warriors, and rightly so. If they were to come back and offer you Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody, do you really think you can say no to that? Pair those three players up in their future with Scotty Barnes, and you could have a dynasty on your hands. But the Warriors are not going to offer that, so there's no real point of thinking of that hypothetical. But it would be really cool. Look, there's been a lot of rumors, and I'm sure Ujiri has been listening to all these calls and offers just to do his due diligence. But there's a reason he hasn't been traded. In fact, he has said that we are not looking to trade him. They're listening, but just not looking. And it feels like the media has made it out to be that Siakam is some old player who's trying to get in this championship team so he can go on one last championship hurrah. But I feel like everyone's forgotten he's only 27. He just entered his prime. In my opinion, considering how he plays the game, especially offensively with so much finesse, his prime is going to be a long one. I personally think it could be 5 years, but it could be even longer than that. But fact of the matter is, in 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4 to 5 years, the Raptors are going to be contenders. Once OG, Scotty Barnes, Precious, and the rest of the crew develop their game, they're going to be one of the more frustrating teams to play against. I guarantee you, in 2 years, everyone's going to look to their schedule, they're going to see the Raptors, and they're just going to be pissed. It's going to be like when LeBron saw Kawhi checking in and just lost his shit. It's going to be like that. No one's going to want to play the Raptors because they're just going to be ridiculously aggressive on defense. They're going to pester you. And even when you try to drive in, there's always going to be extra hands ready to swipe the ball. It's just annoying, and it's not fun to play against. And Siakam fits that future. He fits that vision. Look, in 2 to 3 years, he's only going to be 29. In 5 years, which is the extreme, he's going to be 32. He can still be an integral part of the Raptors championship team. He's only 2 years removed from one of the best seasons in the NBA. He was averaging 23 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, while shooting 36% from 3 and 45% overall from the field. Now, although this wasn't his most efficient year compared to the year they won the championship, this was the first time he was the number one option. And he came through. Yes, a lot of people point to the last year as being the one year that he struggled. That struggle isn't without its reasons. Let's be honest. The Raptor got F'd. They had to play at a home away from home in Tampa. And although that might not feel like a big deal, it is a huge deal. Especially when your fandom is a whole country. Look, my point of the matter is this. Pascal Siakam is a veteran player. just like Freddie. They're not the same age as Scotty Barnes, OG, Gary Trent Jr., and the rest of the young core, but they still fit your timeline. Every team has their championship window. And let's be honest, the Raptors' championship window is a few years removed from now. But when that window opens, I guarantee Pascal Siakam will still be in his prime while the rest of the young core is entering their primes. Not every team can build a dynasty with just youth. You need those experienced players there. You're going to need a Siakam, you're going to need a Freddie to help those young players in the playoffs, in battles they've never been in before. Think about when Kawhi was on the Spurs. Did he have a young core around him? No. Now I'm not saying Siakam is Tim Duncan. I'm not saying Freddie is Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. But having those experienced players is essential to building a championship team. It's essential to building a championship organization. Pascal Siakam needs to stay on the Raptors because he is part of their future. So what do you think? Do you think Pascal Siakam fits the Toronto Raptors championship timeline? Let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I just want to say thank you to Raptors fans. Y'all really helped me a lot, and I hope I can count on y'all to keep helping me. Please like and subscribe, as always. Check out some of my other Raptors video if you're new here. But other than that, see you, and I hope you have a good one.